Rashid Tanko, what will you say about this? And sometimes things like this are difficult for journalists like myself because it's difficult to be repeating things that are said, that are serious, and there's no evidence to it. And you would have realized when I got into this issue with Reverend Tim Fojo, that issue has died. He's not brought his evidence up, right? Just a couple of weeks ago, is it Asefwa also lied, and the media still had to project the lie, even when they knew the fact. But tell me, what is it that you guys are doing in Akwatia?
Very well. Samson, let me say good morning.
Tell you what you're doing.
Good morning to you and my colleague panelists here. And good morning to my good people, Bimbila and constituency. I wish them well. This is Damba Festival. I'll invite you, Samson, to come and join us.
Right.
And Bimbila to dance the Damba. You see, NPP, I don't understand them. And Ghanaians will not understand them. I'm not surprised they've gotten massive defeats in 2024. We all met the IGP. In fact, I was part of the team that met the IGP on Tuesday. We met the Election Security Task Force. So when we talk of National Election Security Task Force, it is not only the police. It comprises the military, immigration service, fire service, customs, as well as national security is also involved. Then the Electoral Commission. This is a composition of the National Election Security Task Force. But the lead body is the police. They normally take the lead. If there's a need for the other agencies to come and support them, then they will invite them to come in. So when you are talking of National Election Security Task Force, we shouldn't zero it to only police. That is a mistake. That is why the problem I have with the NPP. They've ruled this country for 8 years, and they knew all along this setup. Now, when we met them, and interestingly enough, the leader of the NPP team at that meeting was the former Interior Minister. And they even have a senior police officer who just retired joining them. Ofori, I'm sure you will know of it. And we had a very beautiful discussion over there. The police gave us their roadmap, their deployment plan, their strategy and everything. And they raised some issues. The NPP raised it. They said they don't trust the police. We're all shocked because saying at that meeting that you don't trust the police, a police that you just left with us 8 months ago, of which the deputy IGP then has been elevated to be the IGP. No new person has taken over. The same commanders are still there and all that. And you say you don't trust them. Well, now that's their cup of tea. Now, after all this deliberation and the raised issue about Ablekumanov, then the IGP indicated that the reason why we are sending these 5,000 is for your own interest, to make sure that we protect life and property and allow peaceful process to go through. Now, we pledge our support to the police and told them that, yes, fair enough. For us, we are noted for always supporting you to deliver a peaceful election. We did it at Kumewu. We did it at Sinov. At that time, we didn't deploy our own internal security. We didn't bring in boys to come and say they are coming to protect them because we don't trust the police. We had issues with the EC, and of which we have not changed our position. So we said, fine, no problem. So we went in. And interestingly enough, Council, I mentioned something to my colleagues NPP, that the problem we have with the NPP when it comes to election management is that they don't train their people. They are functionaries who are supposed to man the polling stations. They don't train them. So when they come on election day, they ask ignorance questions. That raise tensions at the polling stations.
That's an unfair comment.
No, we said it was.
Both of you engage in very rigorous training for your election officials.
I'll give you reasons. I'll give you reasons why. You know Ablekumanov, on the day, that polling station, I was interviewed by your people on that fateful day when the issue of my sister Hawa Commission came up. You know what triggered the problem? She came at the polling station and was asking them, why is it that NPP has only one polling agent here? That it was a plan to rig the election. She didn't even know that it's a parliamentary election. You can't deploy 2 party agents for parliamentary elections, one. If it is parliamentary and presidential, you deploy 2, one for presidential, one parliamentary. So ostensibly, she didn't know this. And she was not even accredited to be at that police station. She didn't have any accreditation. And she had offensive weapon in her bag, pepper spray. So she had premeditated, the lawyers will even say, of what she was coming to do there. So that was an issue That triggered all this problem because people were trying to answer. So I would say, no, this time around, yes, we know they have fine experts of election management among them, NPP. I know them very well. We've dealt with each other, and I know their knowledge in terms of elections and all that. But people that they are going to deploy to be their observers and party agents, they should make time to train them well. That's what we invested in doing. Now, on Wednesday, I am the lead, in fact, I'm the officer in charge of operational
and I think you should not be repeating that comment because it's unfair. Yes. And you have demonstrated that it's unfair.
Yes.
Because you are talking about how Yakubu, who comes in and how comes in, who is not a party election official.
Of course.
And the party election official trained to be there was there. So even if that is the case, don't use that situation to generalize to say that they don't train their party officials well.
Now, I'll give you reasons why I'm saying this.
Let's move on to this. Let's move on to Akwatia.
So the Akwatia...
We have seen footages where you see, they say it is coming from Akwatia, where you see Richard Japa, obviously, with national security on the grounds.
I'll explain that to you. That's what I was coming to. I said on Wednesday morning, we had DIPAC meeting in Akwatia from the operational officer of the elections management in the Akwatia. Because of your program that I came down. When we met, we told them we were going to train our party agents on that day. So we zoned the constituency into 4, and we're using the churches and classrooms to do the training. Then by evening time, a press conference was held by Richard Ahiaba, indicating that NDC was training tax. In the press conference, they stated that we're training tax to put on a military dress and other uniform to cause mayhem and other things. So where from this? The training, I even put it on my timeline. Took pictures, we were holding pink sheets, and we're going through the nuances of elections and all that, so that they will understand the processes very well on Tuesday. Then you go and say we're training tax. So when they do things like this, they're hyping the tension unnecessarily. Or several the police or everybody, it's public places. So Richard Ahiaba didn't get his information right by saying that the NDC was training tax. We were training our party agents, of which we made it very clear that we will make sure that we invest in training our party agents, our officials who are going to man, because they easily told us the number of accreditation they are going to give us, and then all that if you don't have the accreditation.
Now to the presence of
then
Japa.
The issue of Japa came in, and we said, this one is national security matter. Richard Japa is a director of operation in charge of special duties at the National Security Secretariat. That is his work. We don't speak for them. But interestingly enough, they had rep at the meeting. And that they also have another operation in the constituency because there's Galamsey ongoing in that constituency. And the military had been dead long since before even the death of the MP, fighting the Galamsey. So they have a different operation altogether that they are doing in the constituency. Even when I went there and we met them, we saw that there was too dirty, essentially coming from the forest. That shows that they are just there for different operations, not for the election. And the IGP told us, yes, he has not invited any military for now. So for now, we don't have any military presence. If you see military there, then they might be doing different things, like what you are saying. Japa does operations, special duties. And so his special duties has nothing to do with our elections. It could be of different matter that they are in there. But you see, well, they will see you also say circumstantial evidence. Lawyers, that's why you say.
What a coincidence.
So, well, that's why you say the coincidence. They have been there, they are doing it for, they started doing this long since. He went there several before the MP.
So Rashid, hold on.